So we have tests coming up. We have our final review coming soon. We missed a couple days in there, so things are all kind of messed up. So hopefully we are watching these videos. Tell your friends if you're watching one and it's helping you out. Odds are it's going to help them too. A lot of people are behind. Be a good friend. Point them this direction. That way they know what they're doing. All right, so here's what we did last week. Okay, half-life problem. It says the half-life of sodium is 320 years. How much of 500 grams will be left in 200 years? Okay, so it's a half-life problem, so that means we're going to do two problems. As soon as I read the word half-life, it tells me, hey, I need to split my paper in half because I'm going to do two separate problems. Okay, for both of them, we're using that science formula, y equals A, E, K, T. So when we do both of these problems, y equals A, E, K, T, y equals A, E, K, T. The first problem is going to be about half-life. All right, so everything over here is about half-life. All right, so we read the problem. It says the half-life of sodium is 320 years. So that'll be my T. So I don't know my K. My T is 320. All right, then we've got this Y and that A. A stands for the starting amount, and then the Y is going to stand for the ending amount. So we read this. It says we're going to start with 500 grams, but it doesn't tell me how much I'm going to end with. But understand what the problem is. It is a half-life problem. That means how long does it take to get half of it? So if I'm starting off with 500, when I do half-life, that's going to be 250 because it is half of 500. So there's my problem. I've set it up. I am now solving for K. So we're thinking PEMDAS in reverse. First thing I'm doing is I'm going to divide by 500. Doesn't matter what numbers I give you. That first step after you divide, you should get a half. 0.5. That means 1/2. It's because it's a half-life problem. You're going to get half of it. So there's that. Next thing, I'm still solving for K. It's stuck up high. So to get it down, I'm going to throw logs at both sides. It's an E problem, so I'm going to throw natural logs at both sides. So natural log of 0.5 is going to be equal to 320K natural log of E. I've got natural log of E. Those two things are opposites. So since they're opposites, they go away. Natural log of 0.5 is equal to 320K. Next thing I'm going to do, divide by 320. Divide this by 320. So in my calculator, I'm going to take the natural log of 0.5. So let me turn on my calculator 1 second. So take the natural log of 0.5, and I'm going to divide it by 320. I hit enter. There's my answer. K is equal to negative 0.002. I'm going to round that up to 2. So there's my K. Great. Not done yet. I've done my half-life. Now I'm going to solve my problem. So this K is going to help me up here. That's going to be my K up there. So the other things I can plug in up here. I know my starting amount. It's 500. My K is this down here. It's that negative 0.0022. My T is time. This time, it's going to be 200 years. So times 200 is all equal to Y. This time I'm solving the problem. It's easy. I'm going to type it into my calculator. 500 E negative 0.0022 times 200, close parentheses, hit enter. There is my final answer. Y is equal to 322.02 grams. Understand why that makes sense here. All right, it said we started off with 500 grams, okay? And if the half-life is 320, if we would have went 320 years, I would have had 250. But I only went 200 years. So I shouldn't have half of it. I should have a little bit more than half left over. Well, I do. I have 320 122 grams left over. So it's a little bit more than half. That's why it makes sense. Okay, that's why my answer is a good answer for that. So there's half-life problem. Big thing here, remember, it says half-life, so I cut my problem in half. The first problem, I'm going to solve for K, and then once I've solved for K, then I plug in and solve for my final answer. If you have questions, leave a comment, please.